Well, good morning. Ever since I told my story about how God inspired me in the grocery store, many people have asked me, how do I know I hear from the Lord, and how do you learn that? And I'm going to give you a little example of something that happened to me that will kind of show you how to hear from the Lord. Anyway, back in 81, I was single, had been for a very long time, and of course I was praying for a husband. And as I was reading daily and searching for God and looking for more of God. I was hungry for more of God. So I was over in Deuteronomy. Now that's in the Old Testament, and most people like to read the New Testament, but I was reading the whole thing. And as I was reading, it's kind of like I was in Deuteronomy. Let's see, I've got to get my glasses on to see where I was. 6. And about 12, down in there somewhere, there's a verse that says, I'm going to give you houses that you didn't fill, full of things you didn't buy, wells you didn't dig, vineyards you didn't plant, trees. And it really kind of spoke to me. It didn't speak to me here, but it impressed me. So I said, well, if that's from the Lord, how can that be? So I just put a little question mark there, and I underlined it in my little old book and went on with life. Well, about a month later, it wasn't much longer than that, I met John. It was all, I've talked about that in here before, and you can go back and look at my love story. But, and we met one day, and 10 days later we were married. Well, we lived together about a year in Houston, and then he said, I want to move back to South Carolina. So we drove out here and looked for a house, and we weren't here 3 days, and the first 3 days, and we found a house for sale. And here's the neat part. It was full of things I didn't buy, wells I didn't dig, and trees I didn't plant. The house sold with everything, even a pontoon boat, which he wanted. And they left everything. They left the cupboard full of food. Only thing they took out was their clothes, toothbrush. That's it. I had dishes, and now I had my house at Texas full of things, and then I had this new house full of things that I didn't buy. So as I was reading, that just stood out to me. I didn't do anything with it. I just underlined it, and I kept it in my thoughts, I just kept it to myself. But that's how things can come to pass. That's how you can hear from the Lord, is by reading His Word. And I was seeking. I knew there was more of God than just getting saved. I just was hungry for more. And He began to show me things like that. And then there are other places that I was over in the New Testament, and He talked about the gifts of the Spirit. I thought, well, I want those. If Jesus Christ was in me, everything that He moved in, all those gifts were resident in me. Now, He may not draw them out of me. I won't have them to the fullest of Christ. But they're certainly available. And it's certainly His will for us to move in those gifts to bless others. If someone needs healing, I don't need a gift of wisdom. I need the gift of healing. And if I feel moved in that area, I will pray that way. But if I don't, I'll just keep my mouth shut. Wait till I get an impression of what do I do here, Lord. Someone asked me to pray for them. I don't know what you need. You may ask for a lot of money, and you may need to forgive somebody. I'll give you this one more example. I was delivering food for the church, and we would go to each house, and we would deliver the food, and we'd ask them if they needed prayer for anything. We always did that. Now, this lady was in a wheelchair, and she was poor. And I'm sure she had a lot of needs. And she said, yes, you can pray for me. So I hesitate a minute, and I think, Lord, how do I pray for her? Then I just wait a little bit to get some kind of a thought. And this is what came to me. Tell her she needs to forgive somebody. And he would heal her. Well, I didn't particularly want to tell her that, but that's what I got. So I told her that, and she went into a rage, and she said, I will never, ever forgive them. What they did was unforgivable. Well, see, the Holy Spirit hit it right on the head. So I said, well, then I'm sorry. I can't pray for you. That's what you need. And I didn't pray for her because I would be praying amiss. What she needed was to forgive somebody. Many times, unforgiveness will prevent us from receiving what we need for ourselves. So ask the Holy Spirit, search my heart, see what I need, reveal to me any sin that I'm harboring or anything that I'm doing that's preventing our conversation back and forth. I don't know. There's so many ways to hear from God, but the greatest way to hear from God is read His Word and ask Him to reveal His Word to you. And just keep on seeking and keep on reading. That's the most perfect way to hear from God. Anyway, I love you. I hope this answers some of your questions. That's my 2 bits for today. Thanks for stopping in. I love all of you.